I'm Dr. Svansenberger. It's nice to meet you. I found your story very interesting. I found it very interesting on very many levels. Lisa, I'm almost certain to recommend medication.
Great.
Yeah, if not after the analysis, you may want some before. Yeah?
Bring it on.
Just to get through it. Good. So we will begin. Yeah, please?
This book is dedicated to her sweet family.
Good. That's good. Thank you. And here's where I wish to start, Lisa. You have dedicated this story to your sweet family, yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the story that follows, it is full of family and family figures. And I believe a close analysis of this story that you wrote when you were 8 years old, yeah? Will shed some light on your current situation.
Oh,
Now,
wonderful.
you may have noticed that you said sweet family, Lisa, yes? Sweets are something that you put in your mouth, you chew, you swallow. In short, they are sweet and disposable. Interesting. Interesting how you feel about family. Let's hear more.
There once was a jungle. In the jungle were golden leopards. One was named Jack, and the other one was named Jupolu. They lived in a cave. Jack guarded the jungle, and Jupolu helped him.
Good, thank you. And so we begin, yeah? You have not one but two protagonists in this story, male and female leopards. This tells me, Lisa, that your young self was divided. Yes, the anima and the animus were out of balance, Lisa. I believe if left untreated for much longer, you may find yourself with a gender imbalance. How's your love life, Lisa? You don't have to answer that.
Thank you.
I should also note that the leopard as an animal symbolizes sensitivity, especially to touch, and a golden leopard would then be heightened sensitivity and almost royal aversion to actual contact with others, both physical and emotional. So, how is your love life, Lisa? Yes,
Jack and Jupolu were good friends. Not everyone was friends. The king lion was not friends with everyone. He was a friend with his wife and some of the guards.
Thank you, yes. King Lion, obvious parental figure. Significant that he's not friends with everyone. His wife is listed, but not his children, Lisa. Interesting. Have you seen your father lately?
Just an hour ago, as a matter of fact.
Interesting.
Thank you. Usually not very much goes on in the jungle, but this time something was going to happen. The king lion got mad at Jack because he let two more monkey families into the jungle.
Don't let the monkeys in the kingdom, says the father figure. Monkeys, yes, they're trickster figures full of spirit, playfulness. They're also a powerful symbol of lust, Lisa. So our father is telling us to keep the lustful monkey away.
I was 8, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And not just one, but two monkey families, yes? So how is your love life, Lisa?
I hate you, Kevin.
The king did not like that. Everyone had been told that one important rule. It was no one is to let someone into the jungle or they will be tortured to death.
And here we have the conflict between father and daughter, yeah? You have transgressed the house rules by potentially engaging in orgies. Your father must punish you, but he must be devious about it as you are clearly a favorite in the household. Have you seen your mother lately?
Let's read on it.
The moment had come. Jack was captured and put in jail. The best guards were guarding him. Jack was glad because they were easy to distract. The best guards. Meanwhile, Jupolu at home was worried sick about him. Miss Tiger, her friend, tried to cheer her up, but only one thing would work. That was to take her to Jack, which was impossible.
And then our divided soul imagines a friend, Ms. Tiger.
Yeah.
Tiger symbolizing both power and sensuality.
Of course.
Jupolu tries to alleviate her problem with Miss
God.
Tiger, but cannot find satisfaction, and only Jack will do. How is your love life, Lisa?
Jack had a big problem. If he was caught distracting the guards, the king would lock him up in the dungeon and hang him. The big moment came. Jack escaped. He ran home to Jupolu. As soon as he got home, he married her.
And here we have the solution to our monkey problem. Lust is made acceptable through marriage. And are you married, Lisa?
Let's read on.
Jack and Jupolu spent more time together since they were married. Soon, Jupolu got pregnant. They were going to have a family. Time went by. Jupolu had 4 cubs. 2 were boys and 2 were girls. The 2 girls were called Jackie and Ronnie. The 2 boys were called Mark and Mike. Ronnie and Jackie liked to pick flowers. Mark and Mike liked to bug their sisters. While Jack was having fun with his family, weird creatures were heading for the jungle. They were called ivy, as in poison ivy, and they were terrible. If you touched them, you'd break out in a rash.
Aha!
Oh,
So our
God.
jungle, where we've let in the monkeys, is now full of poison ivy creatures, rashes and disease caused by touch. I see that at 8 years old, we were paying attention in sex ed class and realizing that perhaps our future self might have more challenges than just legitimizing the act through marriage, yes? What happens next?
The king found out about the poison ivy, and he sent all of his guards in their best armor out. Then he announced, "A war will begin against the ivy creatures. Stay at home all through the war."
The best armor around. That would have been more useful before the poison ivy creatures arrived, yes? But finally, we seem to be taking Father's advice. Stay protected. Good.
The moment had come. The war began. There was pushing, shoving, kicking, punching, all done by the jungle guards. Then all of a sudden, the war stopped. The jungle guards had won. They were covered in poison ivy, but still they had won. Jack came home to his family. Jupolu put bandages on him.
The symbolic gesture of one half bandaging the other.
Jack had to stay home because he did not feel well after the war. Ronnie and Jackie picked him flowers. Mark and Mike carved him a statue of himself.
The soul begins to brood and turn in on itself, a statue of himself. You spend a lot of time in front of the mirror, Lisa.
Just because Jack was at home did not mean he was not working. He was thinking of a way to get a new king. Jack thought and thought till he came up with an idea. The king had a son, and the king was getting old. The king's son was more like a king, so why not make him king? His name was Josh. Josh was young, about the same age as Ronnie. Jack thought that he should go over to Josh's house and talk to him, but he was still all bandaged up.
Now here we see an 8-year-old's feelings of inadequacy with her gender. Left unchecked in an 8-year-old, these feelings could result in feelings of submission towards males. So, how is your love life, Lisa? This next section is quite interesting. It's so interesting, I thought it should actually be dramatized. Let's watch.
Oh, dear.
So, he sent one of his kids to get Josh. When Josh arrived, Jack was outside the cave waiting for Josh. Then Jack invited Josh in. They sat down and talked. Josh said,
So, why was I invited over?
I want to know if you wanted to be king.
Of course I do.
Well, is there any way you can be the king?
Yes, if my dad dies, and he might, because he's very sick from the poison ivy monsters.
Josh, you better get going home.
Okay,
Jack walked Josh to the door.
goodbye.
Josh said,
Goodbye.
Jack said, then Josh left.
Banal, isn't it? What is interesting is not what is said. It's really not what is said. No, it's what is unsaid. The clear desire on the part of an 8-year-old girl to want her father to die of a venereal disease.
The next day, the king died. But instead of Jack being happy, he was sad. He just realized how close he was to the king after all. Jack and his family went to the funeral. Later, Josh was pronounced king. Everyone was happy for him, especially Jack.
I'm just going to hold you there. So the king died, fantasy, wish fulfillment. The soul realizes that there is love for the father and that it can move forward with the spirit of youthful playfulness. Lisa, I think you're going to be all right.
Oh, thank God.
Please continue.
The end.